Well, March came and went, and now it's April, which means more pickups. And of course, being that it was the end of March, we had the Midwest Gaming Classic in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This year, Matt, myself, and Drea only went to on Saturday. We didn't stay the whole weekend this year, simply because we didn't feel it was really all that necessary. It was huge this year, though. A lot more vendors. Met up with Captain, the old ass retro gamer Chris Pico, Slayer, Church, the Game Grinder, a whole bunch of other people we met for dinner and hung out. Of course, Tiger Chainsaw had his own little corner booth that he was doing a bunch of panels with. The bonus stages, he called it, hung out there for quite a while. And of course, did some hunting and playing some arcade games. I didn't attend any panels or anything or do anything fancy. Spent most of my time on the third floor just kind of hanging around. A lot of people I didn't get to see, and I apologize. There's just so many people this year, I wasn't even sure where to look. It was just sensory overload totally. But we're going to start off with some of the pickups from Midwest Gaming Classic. And the first regret of that, because after getting this, I realized I already had a copy of this. This is, I forgot the name, School Idol Paradise, Volume 2 BB. And I thought at first this was just Volume 1, and I was like, okay, cool, I have Volume 1 and I have Volume 2. Now, thankfully, it wasn't all that much. I think I only spent about $12 for this. So if anybody's interested in a copy of this for their Vita collection, hit me up. So for Dreamcast, I did come across as looking for mostly imports was my thing. And I got this one, Langrisser Millennium, for the Sega Dreamcast. It's a strategy RPG in the Langrisser or Growlancer series. Just thought it was kind of interesting. It was fairly decently priced, and it's not one that I really see all that often. So I thought, man, might as well pick it up and expand my Dreamcast or Japanese Dreamcast collection a little bit. Plus, the art's pretty cool. I mean, the backside, you can kind of see it's somewhat of an RPG, I'm guessing. I'm not entirely sure. I just was like, well, we'll see what it's like. And then I did a little trade. I ended up trading my copy of Earthworm Jim for the Sega Genesis for Eternal Champions on the Sega CD. I've always kind of wanted this one. It's been on my list for a very long time to get, and what used to be a $15 or $20 game has skyrocketed. Most places around the con were asking $60 for this game. So I made a trade with Lance from Mega Media Exchange out of Madison, since I see him a lot. He usually cuts me some really good deals, so we just did an even trade, my Genesis game for this one. So, and it's in really great condition, and he was asking a little under what some of the other other vendors were asking for. I did find a really poor copy for half the price. It was like $30, but like the case was all broken. The discs had scratches on it, and there was like water damage on the cover. So I was like, this or the cases are one thing. I have plenty of left or brand new replacement cases for Sega CD, Saturn, and even PlayStation. But the manuals and all that stuff and a scratch disc wasn't really worth it to me. Then the big one, I finally finished my subset for this one. A big hitter, very expensive. I don't know why. And that is the All-Stars variant of Ready to Rumble. This is probably one of the more difficult ones to find. For a couple of years, I had been eyeing it on Mercari and some other places and just never pulled the trigger because I was very hesitant. And of course, when you hesitate, you end up losing out. So there was a guy who was actually selling his entire Dreamcast collection, and he happened to have this. He also had the non-Devil Head Speed Devil variant that was sold only in Walmart, but he was asking like $300 for, and I wasn't going to pay that much. And then he had some of the more harder to find Japanese exclusives, such as Boarded Down, Triggerheart Excelia, as well as he had Cosmic Smash, and I want to say there was one other one. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But for the most part now, I can say my Dreamcast collection is even more complete because being that I completed that about 10 years ago, so I've just kind of been picking up other things just to kind of make it more complete in a sense. And this one just kind of haunted me because it was the only All-Stars version, that variant that I was kind of missing out of that set. Now it's super important. I've talked with a lot of other Dreamcast collectors who really don't consider this part of the complete set, but for a subset, yeah, why not? So moving on to other pickups throughout of March. My copy of, was it Drainus? Yeah, Drainus, which is just a shoot 'em up. Looked really cool. This is from Strictly Limited Games. Unfortunately, there's like no game images on the back side, but I thought it looked really cool. Thought I'd give it a chance. So I picked that up, and of course, it came with their Strictly Limited postcards they come with most of the releases. And then, of course, expanding on the Dreamcast stuff, I had to get another indie game. This one, I'm surprised it took me so long to pick up. So, FX Yuki from Sarumaru. He was having a little sale on his site, so I grabbed it. So I got the exclusive cover from him. This is also available through Video Games New York and all that, but I just thought it had the kind of the Japanese art on the backside, and that's generally what I've been picking up for a lot of my indie games, is more of the Japanese type color covers. Then I happened to come across this. This is Gundam Breaker 3 Break Edition. This is the Asian English version. I do have this on the Vita, but that one kind of runs a little choppy on the Vita. Frame rate's kind of bad, so I was like, well, came across this for a pretty decent price, and it's not one that I would come across often without having to go to eBay and buy it secondhand and seeing if somebody had one. So kind of excited to pick this one up because I've been getting into a lot of Gundam games lately, so thought we'd give that a try on PS4. These are just kind of random things. I was joking around with some of the guys at GameStop, and said, yeah, I've been getting into steelbook collecting, so they handed me a couple that they had extra laying around, so I got the One Piece Odyssey steelbook. Not that I'm a big fan of One Piece. I don't even own the game, in fact. But I just thought it was interesting, and then they also had the more cooler one. This is the Modern Warfare 2 steelbook. I thought it was pretty cool. The backside actually has the full image. There's minor scratches on the side, which is no big deal. I don't really care. And then the inside had a pretty little picture. So I just thought it was something cool to have on the shelf. I'm not sure if I'll hold on to these. May just end up giving them to whoever is part of a deal or something. And this game, this is part of a Kickstarter, which the game released in retail back in December. And I was like, no, I'll hold off. I'll wait until my copy comes in, even though it is not the ESRB rating version. But that is Jutsu Squad, so it has the PEGI rating on the side instead of the ESRB. But I got it on the PlayStation 4. It also came with I guess this is a Kickstarter exclusive cover. I'm not entirely sure. There's no rating on it, but it's a different cover art. Backside, I think, is pretty much the same. And nothing on the inside. Oh, there it does. Right on the side. It says Kickstarter right there. So it is a Kickstarter exclusive cover. I'll probably end up swapping that out whenever I get around to opening that game. But it also came with this really, really thick instruction manual. I'm not even sure if the retail versions have this or not, but that was kind of cool to see. And then some of the art on the back is a thank you. And then it came with this collector coin. Which I want to say was a Kickstarter exclusive. I'm not sure how well it's going to show up. But it's got a little character design on the front. And then another one on the back. Which I thought was kind of neat. It's different. Little Kickstarter exclusives. And this one by Red Art Games, Metaloid Origins, which is the sequel to Metal Gal, which I got through PlayAsia on the PlayStation Vita, which is just a Mega Man clone, basically. Pretty fun. I got through the Vita version. It was a very short game, but kind of fun. So I figured I'd give this one a try. I figured, why not, right? And this one, oh boy. I don't know why. In fact, it's not even in the stack. But spoiler alert, I guess. I got this on another system coming. Shikando, which is another kind of gothic horror shoot 'em up. They had a sale on these. They were kind of clearancing them out, and the fact that this game is being delisted from the digital stores, if not already, I think there was mention it would be at the end of March. So I quickly grabbed this one, and for next month, I want to say I also got the PS4 version because they restocked those. When I went and purchased this one, the PS4 stock was sold out. Which I really wanted more for the trophies for whatever reason or another, because I'm not sure how this is going to run on the Switch, but for having another shmup on that system seems to be the way to go. So I grabbed it. And then last but not least, another shmup for the Switch. This one I already had previously on the Xbox 360. I really enjoyed it, so I got it on the Switch again for a more modern version. Sadly, this is the only other physical version. I think it's also on PlayStation 4. I'll have to double check on that. But I want to say it is. And again, I don't know why I grabbed it for the Switch and not the PS4 instead. I have a really bad habit of doing that. I think this one was also on sale. Yeah. In fact, that's why I grabbed it on the Switch, because I think they had marked this down to about I think it was only $15 at the time when I snagged it. So, and then it was like another $7 shipping. I was like, well, that's kind of, brainless. Just grab it, spend $20 and get it imported. Why not? So yeah, now that I recall, that's what the reason was, is that I got this on Switch. But still, I gotta stop buying Switch games. I barely even touch this system. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. But so looking back at this, I forgot one, and a very big one. I early in March made a stupid decision, to a degree. I mean, stupid the fact that my wallet hated me for it, but I did it anyway. I bought another arcade PCB. This time for the Capcom Capcom System 2, or CPS 2, and that is the original X-Men Children of the Atom. I ended up already putting in the open key on this to eliminate the battery. Some people will know in my past CPS2 games, I put in the infinity key. The open key is the new iteration that's come out due to the fact that stock for the infinity key has been low. So somebody back in December had created their own version of it and has been selling it for a third of the price of the infinity key, and it works just as well. So I thought that was pretty cool. I got an alternative. It was a little bit cheaper. I paid a little more for the board than I have for the other CPS2 games, but I thought that was pretty cool. And I can now play the original Children of the Atom version 3 in its original glory. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, back to the original video. There we have it. That was the games for March. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures that I took from Midwest Gaming Classic either, but it was a great time. Generally, with those events, I don't take a lot of video or pictures in those events. There's a couple pictures that have appeared on other people's Twitter that I do appear in, and I'm sure there's some videos that'll probably pop later that I'll have my face in and not even realize it. But that's it for now. Hopefully April is already shaping up to be kind of interesting, and we'll go from there. So, as always, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.